Everyone. Welcome to How to Make $100,000 as a Nurse. My name is Andrea Romer. I am a certified life coach and practicing ICU nurse, practicing critical care nurse communicator, and the owner of Andrea Romer Coaching. I created the Culture of One, and I'm here to share with you a process that I think will be super helpful. You are here because you want to know how to make $100,000 as a nurse. And what I want to say today is that I just got back from Magnet and I'm super incredibly energized by all of nurses, which I always am, but even more so this week. So thank you for your contribution to this world and keep up the good work. When we have a conversation about money as nurses, we are having a conversation about how we think, feel, and the actions that we take or do not take. These are the things that create money. These conversations shape not only our lives, but the profession as a whole. And you might not care about the profession as a whole today, and that is okay. I want you to get what you came for. Please have a pen and paper, and I will pause for questions or put them in the chat. I'll do the best I can to get to those, and I'll let people in as they come. The Culture of One believes in you, in your work, your life every day. Knowing how to treat your mind and body with growth processes and support is essential. I appreciate you. Here are the objectives for this workshop. You will leave thinking differently. Take comfort that you are working with some of the smartest people in the profession. You are one of those people and you are making a difference in the world. You can implement this practice immediately. Invest in yourself, in the processes and support with one-to-one coaching, the Culture of One. You'll have a process today to leave with, and you can think about working with me. There's a lot of ways we talk about money as nurses. We never make enough. It's never going to happen. We just don't see that coming. Sometimes those can block us. So we are going to talk about those and how we change our mind on those things. We're thinking differently today. How we create new science and new data is by having new ideas. We are not only thinking about $100,000 as an income, we're thinking about what creates that. Great patient care, love for your work, not just extra shifts, not just travel nursing, not just retention or staffing. $100,000, the things that create that is about you showing up, being you, doing what you do, and giving yourself credit for that. So then it shows up in money. If you knew tomorrow that you were going to make $100,000 for sure, what would be different about how you showed up in your work or in your life? Go ahead and use that pen and paper and write down the answer to that now. If you knew tomorrow that you were guaranteed to make $100,000, what would be different about how you showed up? We wait for money to show us what to think and feel and do, and I'm asking you to flip that. This conversation today is different. One last question. Please write down what you think stands in your way of making $100,000. You can feel free to put them in the chat if that feels available or helpful to you. Often the other things we think about when we think about making $100,000 for nurses is I will be burned out. I will have no time for myself or the things that I love. There's no way that will be sustainable. There's an hourly exchange of time for money. I have no idea how I will do this. I've absolutely been here. These are all things that used to come up for me too. You know the outcome that you are wanting is $100,000. That's why you're here. So what I want to do is help you make that possible. So go ahead and take the $100,000 and just set it right here. I want to move our minds just a little bit. Let's talk about how you did that. It's about who you are as you do that. And I have complete belief in you. You may only have a vision of the things that make it not possible. Because maybe you haven't done it before, or you didn't do it in a way that you could replicate that feels good. You also may have had a moment where you felt like you did make $100,000 already, where you had a moment you were engaged in that vision. It stirred inside of you a feeling that came from thinking this is possible. That's you. You deserve this. Now that you have this vision in your mind, write these 3 things down. This is going to be the process that you're going to follow for this goal. Mindset, clear, calm, non-negotiable self-care, and focused priorities. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you can see those. And then you don't have to see just me. The conversation here. Clean mindset, clear and calm mind. Non-negotiable self-care and focused priorities, my friends. These do not change order. You can use these in any area of your life for any goal, and you can share them with anyone. Your nurses would love these. Any goal can go at the top. Today it's $100,000, but right now that $100,000 is right here. You might be thinking I'm telling you to work, 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 schedule all the extra shifts. This is how we talk about making more money all the time, extra work. That is not a clear mindset. You might know me. You might see or hear that I work at a high level, and this is the result of my mindset, my thinking, my non-negotiable self-care, and focused priorities. I make decisions from this place for my nursing practice and my coaching practice and my life. Here are some of the thinking that drives me. I make an impact every day. I am a temple. I am an example of what's possible. We'll talk about building belief in the next few minutes, but I didn't believe all of those things about all the aspects of my work initially, but I built belief. I found evidence, and I did this from a place that is not egotistical. The best thing about knowing about the ego is that when we're thinking that we play small or that we don't make an impact, we hide ourselves and our gifts from the world. You might be thinking that I'm telling you, you might be hearing, she's saying $100,000, that means do more. No, $100,000 means start with these 3 things I'm going to be talking about today. I want you doing less and trying out this process. Now, especially if you are a woman, you are conditioned to believe that we do everything. That's why we're lost in the everything. I hear this from my clients all the time. I'm expected to do everything. I want you to walk that back today. When you have clear mindset, non-negotiable self-care, and focused priorities, your nursing can be physically and emotionally demanding, but we leave space for that. We stop expecting ourselves to go to work for 12 hours doing physical and emotional labor and then go home and do the same thing and sleep and then do it again. We get the impact in our work because we pay attention. And as you use this process, just like at the bedside, you'll get started and you'll need to troubleshoot. Your plan won't be working. We're really good at troubleshooting at work, but crappy in our lives. And we think, there must be a problem with me. I have to troubleshoot something or try something different. It's not a problem. Things that we do not intend or plan ahead of time just don't get created. What we put our attention to, we create. Just being honest. Everything takes us out of intention and attention. And then we're like, what happened? I'm in this career and I'm not making an impact and not making $100,000. What is going on? This process will support you in nothing without an intention. I want you to be able to focus on your patients, on your people you serve, on your life when you're not at work. I want you to be creating abundance as you go by doing these 3 things. Knowing your mindset and thinking, having it be calm and clear, having non-negotiable self-care, and focused priorities. As I learned and created this process, the self-care I afforded myself, the energy that I had for my family, my coworkers, my patients, has increased so much by planning and preparing what I want, focused and available. I plan my work ahead of time. So on days and weeks when I work more, I can be creative in my thinking, adding self-care and being available to more than just what was prioritized. So what I'm saying is that when you focus down your priorities, after you've already planned your weeks when you might be flexing more money muscle, you have everything planned so that then you can add more creativity than just what you have prioritized. I've seen my clients use this a day or 2 after we talk about it. They have a clearer mindset, they're more in tune with their body and self-care, and have focused priorities. I'm just going to be honest again. If you don't have the time or the willingness to try this process of clear mindset and thinking, being non-negotiable and having focused priorities, then you can't make the money. If you're not making the money, this is why. Clean up your mindset, make yourself non-negotiable, and focus your priorities, and you will be a $100,000 earner. And the energy of that will be showing up first in your nursing care. You know, this speaks to all of the thoughts that nurses have about money and about how money and time are in exchange. But when you think about this conversation of what creates money, which is thinking and feeling and what you do or don't do, with knowing, you have to know your mindset. You have to understand non-negotiable self-care and have focused priorities. Then you start seeing complete change in your practice, and it drives money. I'm going to pause here and see if we have questions. I want to thank everyone for the appreciation in the chat. So appreciate that. I appreciate all of you, and I know that I don't have anything to really teach you about being a nurse. You have a solid, wonderful practice. I'm a process coach. I help you do everything at a whole new level. And I understand what it's like to be at the bedside. All of this has been test-driven, tried and true at the bedside. If I'm being honest, I was shooting for $100,000 and made 2 as a nurse. And like I said, I saw everything expand in my life first, and then the money. So I'm going to touch back on some of these very innocent, yet we think helpful, but really not helpful thoughts. And if you feel called out, please don't, because I've been there too. This is how I learned. Again, thinking these seem so innocent, but if you're thinking these, it's time for a check-in. If I'm working at a level that makes me $100,000, then I can't take care of myself. I will just burn out. My family needs me. This is not sustainable. All of those thoughts are very innocent. We think helpful, but not helpful if we're creating a goal. When I work one-on-one with people, I teach cycling, opening and closing doors so that we set goals, we reach them, we cycle down, we cycle up. Anyway, that's a whole nother workshop. What you lack right now is the capacity for some income earning potential. When you have a clear mindset, which is not, I'm just going to burn out, your capacity grows. Your nervous system and your body start to have the space. You have to clean up your mindset, be non-negotiable in your self-care, and have focused priorities. Now, I want to talk about the difference between physical and emotional fatigue. You're going to become very aware of this now that we talk about it. This is the other thing I had to really learn and work with myself through. Andrea, you just planned your day off. You just got done with the day off. You have fun stuff planned. You need to do the work today. You don't just get to do none of the work and hit your goals. And it is not how the world works to think money into existence. You can only think yourself into action. This process changed my life. So here's an example, a little story. I would get up in the morning knowing that I had planned an extra shift, and I would get up tired. Of course, I'm waking up in the morning, and my mind would say, I need a mental health day. And that's when I had already planned my day off or just come off of a day off, I could allow my body to wake up, understand physical fatigue is normal. I've got all my self-care planned. This extra shift was part of my goal. And I'm allowed to be uncomfortable, but I don't make it mean I can't do it. You're going to edit your priorities. Now, when I am in this process, I'm not also trying to learn to run a marathon. Now, some people work at that level after they get this process down. If I'm being honest, I can hit many goals at one time, but you want to start with one goal, and then you want to get evidence that you're doing a fantastic job. Edit your priorities to begin with. That is focused priorities. Leave the drama and vagueness behind. You're going to leave behind the I can do anything for 12 hours mindset. What that does is it lets your mind just do anything for 12 hours. If you're working an extra shift, you need your mindset to be clear and calm. You're going to get tired. You're going to wish that that wasn't how you make money, by putting your impact into the world, but it is. It may not always be the way that you make $100,000, but how you think as a $100,000 earner is different than how you think now. You can choose to think that way now, and your creativity is going to blossom. But if you're thinking I can do anything for 12 hours, that is not a clean mindset. So I want you to get some money-making actions on the books. The better you think, the more money you create. I'm going to repeat that. The better you think, the more money you create. Okay, I told you I would touch on this, so I want to talk about belief. You're going to be building belief that this process will work for you, that you can make a goal and reach it. You probably have very low belief in your ability as a nurse to make $100,000 or as much money as you want. You're going to build belief by using the belief you already have. Let me demonstrate. You have belief that you can 100% pour a glass of water. You know your way to work and you know your way to the grocery store. It's just, you believe you know. We're building belief that you can have this conversation with yourself that you can make this kind of money. We're building belief that you make an impact. You are a temple. You are an example of what's possible. Building belief for anything takes trying and seeing evidence, and that starts with mindsets. Remember, your thinking and feeling drive your actions and inactions. It's not your money that drives that. Those things drive money. You may not believe that you can make $100,000 as we're talking, and that's okay. If you did, you would have already done it. You wouldn't be here. Believing new things feels like nothing in our body if we're not willing to start believing. Things we commit to and believe we will do, even if they're hard and new, feel squishy or uncomfortable in our body. I want to get you putting money-making actions on the books, because remember, I said you can't think your way into that, but you have to have a clean mindset, like, I make an impact, I feel this way, I can make money. That might mean 5 minutes by yourself, thinking about what priorities make you money. I'm just going to give this as a caveat because it's not house cleaning or getting the laundry done. That feels really good. Listing 5 things that will make you more money do not feel good. That doesn't mean they aren't good. That doesn't mean you're going to burn out or it's not sustainable. I'm giving you the process for that. You will feel this in your body. That means you're starting to build belief. It doesn't mean it's going to work all the time. You might need to go back to troubleshooting, which we talked about, and that's okay. This might be a whole new concept, feeling squishy or discomfort in your body. Our bodies often remember that feeling as stress or trauma of the last code you had at the bedside, or when you had a really hard thing happening. It's actually courage, but our body can't differentiate between the difference of trauma and stress and courage. To build any new belief, we have to have discomfort and courage. And so it's allowing your mind and body to come together to care for each other. Because your mind is going to say, I can do this. I'm an example of what's possible. I make an impact every day. And when I make an impact, it creates money. Your mind is like, come on, body. Come on, body. And your body's like, well, this feels like stress. And your mind can say, it's okay. We're working on this. You make your self-care there non-negotiable. You use your clear mindset to be non-negotiable, and you continue with your focused priorities. You don't fall back all the time into, I'm just going to do the laundry. Take some time today to appreciate the nurse you are, the shifts you have this week. Appreciate the money you will make this week. Focus on the skill you have as a nurse. Appreciate how good you are at building relationships quickly, because you know you are. Think about how people trust you with their bodies, and they don't even know you. They trust you more than you trust yourself. We want to close that gap. You guys are amazing. You may be thinking, well, this money is spent, it's not mine. But you know what? It's your decision to work for it, to have the things it buys. It's also your decision to appreciate these things. A clear mindset does not speak meanly to ourselves. It does not beat ourselves up. It starts to shift from solving problems from lack to solving problems from appreciation. I really am going to show this because I want you to write this down. You might need to pull this out occasionally. You might need to use this on shift. You can share this with people. Give the value of what you have more space in your mind. Make building a belief a priority. Imagine, as we did before, the money you make now, what it buys you and what it affords you. Think of the impact you give to the world in exchange for money. Think about the amazing person that you are. Think about what an incredible nurse you are. You do a job that has impact on notice I put in a lot of O's there, many people and on the future. You can make space for this. Your energy will change. You will see opportunities opening up. And I'll share with you the hour of investment a week that my clients spend with me finds them time. This hour is not lost, it comes back to them. So I encourage you to reach out to me and schedule a time that we can talk more so that you can build commitment with yourself, transform your life. Drop your email in the chat. We can talk offline. Here's how you reach me. The Culture of One, www.romercoaching.com. I'm going to stop my share so that we can end this time together. I give you so much love and appreciation. I thank you so much for being here. I'll see you again.